Hello to my truth and freedom-loving friends. I am Peymon Mutahede, the president of Freedom Law School, which I created in 1996. And for over 30 years, I have not filed or paid any federal income taxes. I've been teaching Americans like you to do the same legally and safely. Our website is freedomlawschool.org. In a minute, you will see a call that was made to me during our previous question and answer session of Freedom Law School. The call was by an IRS agent trying to set me up, they think, for some kind of a criminal case. It was clearly, in my opinion, a government agent calling from area code 202. That is the area code for Washington, D.C., the District of Columbia, which over 93% of them voted against Donald Trump. And a call from the swamp. And by the way, just so you know, we try to call that number back the next day or two afterwards. It's blocked. You could not call that number. Have you ever heard of a regular, ordinary American have the number be blocked from any number calling it? I've never heard that, but I do know governmental agencies can have the power to do so if they want to. So with that, enjoy hearing this 202 area code caller calling me at Freedom Law School's Freedom Hour for yourself. Area code 202 caller, you there from the District of Criminals in D.C., my friend. What is your first name, how you heard about us, and how did you end up in D.C., my friend?
It's your boy, Skeeter. I've been studying the sovereign citizen and tax freedom movement. I had some questions about, your argument about, income taxes.
Hold on.
Unfortunately,
what is your name first? What is your name?
Skeeter.
Say it again.
It's your boy, Skeeter.
How do you spell it?
Skeeter. S-K-E-E-T-E-R. Skeeter.
Oh, unusual name, okay. And how did you hear about Freedom Law School?
Unusual? What about Peymon? But I've been studying the tax freedom movement, and your income tax argument is pretty interesting. But so you're saying, as me as a resident of D.C., I'm subject to the federal income tax.
Freedom Law School? Yes, Skeeter.
Oh, I've been studying the tax freedom movement, so I ran across you and studying all these tax arguments that I see a bunch of tax arguments about how people aren't subject to the income tax in the 50 states for some reason or other.
Well, how did you come across Freedom Law School? I got you. Well, how did you come across Freedom Law School?
I ran across you on YouTube. Yeah, and doing research, I ran across you on YouTube.
Okay.
I didn't, team up on. I was like, I ran across, I think a guy named Bear Arms first, and then Dave Champion, Christopher Gronsky, Jay Noon. Can't forget Jay Noon.
Okay.
And then I ran across you.
Okay.
But so you're saying your argument is saying that as a resident of D.C., I'm one of the only people that's subject to the federal income tax?
Yes.
For one?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if your argument is true, right? Mm-hmm. Couldn't this argument be used to overturn virtually every guilty tax evasion decision for any resident of the other 50 states? Like, why can't this be used as a defense to overturn these guilty verdicts?
Well, the person signed the 1040 form.
That doesn't matter.
Okay, well...
That doesn't matter if the law doesn't apply to them.
Okay, hold on. It potentially, yes, could be done if the courts were honest and they would say, oh my gosh, for decades, we've been throwing people in prison illegally, rather than telling them, hey, by the way, you know what? I'm a judge. I studied the law, and I did my own research about this issue of taxes. And you know what? I came across the definition of the United States, and therefore U.S. citizen, and you're not one of them because you're not from D.C. This case should be dismissed on my own. I don't need a government lawyer to tell me that, or you. I just on my own saw the law, and I ruled on the law, and I should have dismissed it, and I will dismiss it. But for decades, the judges have not been doing that. They have this common socialist prejudice, and they want to uphold this socialist system in America that as slaves, we pay the federal government, the big brother, and the big brother bestows some of that money to this group and that group of people based on the preference. That's single mom, you're disabled, you're old, you're a minority, you're a military contractor, you're some foreign country. We want to give money to promote LGBTQ in your school system of this foreign country, So that's what's been going on out there. But the judges have that bias, as you're seeing. So, yeah, but technically, get honest judiciary, yeah, it could be done.
So you think, your answer is basically that these corrupt judges, they congregate in a room and they conspire to always make a decision against the true intent of the law.
Let me tell you something, Skeeter. You sound to me like, honestly, you sound like a government spy from D.C. calling me try to set me up to say something out of my words, out of context, because you're feeding me words in my mouth, which I don't want. And I can sense that. You could be, maybe not, but you certainly are talking like one. So don't put words in my mouth, because I'm telling you, number one, okay? And I never said, let me finish. No, it's my show. I get to say what I want to say to you. You ask the question, okay? I never said they have to get together, conspire in one room. Just like the people that killed John F. Kennedy did not get in one room, and every one of them got together in one room and conspired. That's not necessary. Okay? The mentality of the people. Some people are die-hard communists at heart. My brother was one. My dad was one in his youth, until later on found out that that's all a bunch of lies and BS. Okay, they changed, okay? But because they deceive us with this idea that, the poor, the old, disabled, former slaves, oh my gosh, they'll be ruined and go hungry if you don't have you pay your fair share of taxes to provide for all these poor people. Or kill all the enemies of us, want to kill us in Russia, China, Iran, and Iraq, and Afghanistan. We're going to go kill them first. Okay? So that's what's going on out there. I'm not saying that they're all got together. The mentality of them is that I'm here to protect the system. The oath they took to uphold the U.S. Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic, to protect the American people's rights, Americans' freedoms, means nothing to them. They believe that if they rule against this current socialist communist system, where the government is in control of things for the benefit of all the poor and old and disabled and disadvantaged, that everything will just fall apart. That's what I'm saying. So do you have a question I can help you with? Because people behind you are waiting to ask me questions about their situation to help them with. What is your situation, Skeeter, I can help you with?
I got some. So I got some questions about your interpretation of the law. But
hold on, stop. No, number two, it's not my interpretation. Is not my interpretation. As you see on my screen, I only rely on U.S. government's official legal websites. I rely only on the 1040 form and its instructions. The law is published by the Council of the U.S. House of Representatives, U.S. Treasury regulations, and the Supreme Court. You're right in that I do not accept the court cases, courts of appeal and district court. Yes, they're often crooks and criminals, and knowingly and deliberately ignore the law and Supreme Court decisions to protect the corrupt, existing socialist, communist, government control over you as slave system. That is what I'm saying. Good. Continue.
Yeah. So, but how can you say that I can't say you're implying this conspiracy between government officials?
Hey. Caller, I'll come back to you. If you're not an IRS agent, that's good. So we're going to the next caller because he doesn't have any question of his own. He just wanted to call me from the District of Criminals, asking me this question from, I've been into sovereign citizen movement and all that stuff. Yeah, how'd that come across you? After several times, I don't know where you're from. I found you on YouTube. Yeah. Oh, let me put some words in your mouth, so I can set you up for say something out of context and record you so later on in court we can charge you and play your words out of context. No, Skeeter, I'm not that stupid. That's one reason I beat the IRS and people like you. You sold your soul to the government for money. This is your God, money. You go get a real job. Don't work for the criminals, okay? You don't have to, for some measly money, work for evil people and institutions. You make real, honest money, okay? And I'm going to help you with that by having the whole corrupt system be changed to the Constitution where it's supposed to be, and you can get an honest job rather than trying for the government try to set patriots up to put them away like you guys did with the January 6th defendants who had no idea the trap you and your friends at the DOJ and FBI set up for them in January 6th to put them in prison and shut them up because they're exercising their rights, the God-given rights to protest against the election cheating that was done. Okay, folks, you saw that for yourself. They are so desperate to try to stop our movement from growing that they try anything they can. You see, that's why, for example, the January 6th so-called insurrection was a setup. We have confirmation from congressmen that dozens and dozens of people there were FBI agents, assets, informants, people that were there or federal government people that were there set up to agitate the crowd. We've seen videos of them sending, canisters of gas to, tear gas into the crowd to get people upset. The whole thing was set up, and then people just walk through the Capitol innocently. Oh yeah, we're just going and taking pictures, and they charge you with what? Insurrection? For peacefully walking through the house of we the people. You, Mr. Government Worker, you Skeeter, you work for us, the American people, right? But the system is so corrupt and out of control that this is what's going on. We have these people act like they're above us, but they're not. The founding fathers laid a foundation that we the people, you, me, and all the American people, we are the foundation of every power that we delegated to the states, and the states delegated a few of those to the federal government as an agent of the states, who are agents of we the people. You got to remember that. And it is up to us to take America back, to get our country back. Where would I go? Back to Iran? To some third world country out there, like they got more freedom in those places than America? Here you have the right of free speech. You have the right to have guns. Right to jury trial. Well, 12 Americans got a conviction beyond the reasonable doubt of any crime. That's pretty big. Okay? You have right to a trial, right to appeal. You have right to be generally secure in your home and persons. I mean, they weaken these rights, these government courts, yes, but still, fundamentally, these rights are still there, and we got to exercise them. And foremost is free speech. associate and assemble with like-minded people like we're doing here online, and talk and share and publish this information to other people, like-minded people. Okay, so that's why it's so important that you talk about this stuff and share our 10-minute video to other people. Let me tell you something interesting, by the way. I was just had a friend over, and with his spouse, and the spouse has been trying to tell him about us for, gosh, over a year. He's not listening. So he's over, we're talking after a long time of talking, asking, hey, do you have 10 minutes? Sure. He said, yeah, 10 minutes. In that 10 minutes, what did I do? Well, I had him watch this, my very first video, Follow the Law. Just 10 minutes. And guess what happened? He flipped over. Says, oh, I didn't know you were talking about that there were states. You know, it's not the 50 states. His wife was trying to tell him for the longest time, right? But, you know, people sometimes are not quite ready to hear things, or the situation is not right. That situation was right. Yeah, and after watching that 10 minutes, he was sold pretty much. Then I had to take him step 2. Okay, that look, you know, that when you go to file a 1040 form, you put the rope around your neck. So he saw the cartoon, then read this stuff here, and played a little bit of video of the topic. Maybe the longer video, we played maybe 15, 20 minutes of it, and that was enough to get him thinking, oh, wow. And then he said, well, I got withholding from my paycheck. Well, you mean, in other words, I have to file to get some of that money back. So, well, you can stop that. Stop the employer from stealing from your paycheck for free on our website, freedomlawschool.org. And then with that, we had enough for the first session to think about, chew over, mull over, and maybe on his own do some more research perhaps. Let it sink in, right? Next time, a little bit more perhaps. We'll share with him if he doesn't do it on his own anyways, okay? So don't give up on people. Love people by texting them our website. Text them this 10-minute video right there on step 1, right here. This video, Follow the Law, right there. So look, do me a favor, give me your 10 minutes of your time. Tell me what you think. Does this make any sense to you, or is this us all crazy? I really would appreciate your input. I respect your opinion. Right? What are you going to say? I was talking to a guy to have me be be interviewed by somebody very famous that he works with. I showed him this video, and guess what? It told me back. I paid a little bit for his time. He said, I feel like I should be paying you, because he had no idea beforehand what he was about to see. And you know that. You know your friends and coworkers don't know any of this stuff. They don't know it's even possible. It's like, wow, this fantastic thing to be free, not to be a slave of the federal government. That I have to have money stolen out of my paycheck, given to the swamp in D.C. I don't have to keep track of how much I make, my expenses and deductions and credits, and pay some accountant or CPA, keep track of all this, and sign that piece of paper under oath that I don't even understand what the heck it is. Put my faith in this hopefully good accountant, CPA, tax attorney, that hopefully he knows what he's doing. I don't have to do all that. I can be free of all that? Of all that? No accountant, no CPA, none of this record keeping for them, for the master? Don't have to belittle myself to sign under oath for the master, IRS, and then give some of my heart and mind to the master, the IRS, the federal government? Is that possible? Oh. Death and taxes are two things that you can't live without, they say, right? Well, guess what? We don't die. We are spirits in his bodies, Okay, we're spirits to begin with. There's a creator of all the universe of life out there, and we leave these bodies, eventually go back up there. So there's no death. There's no real death. Okay, and at the same time, there's no federal income taxes or payroll taxes or corporate estate gambling, gun manufacturing taxes. None of that you have to pay. So the old saying death and taxes is not correct, is it? All right. So with that, we're going to be trying to hook up the system to answer your questions that you're going to be having in a minute. Okay, we have a little technical issues to get connected with the system. But I do want you to know this. This is exciting times, people. Why? Because back in 89, when I became a Libertarian Party activist, back in 92, when I heard and understood the income tax fraud, deception on the American people, we haven't had a president that understood how corrupt the federal government has become. I mean, people, the corruption goes back to Johnson, President Johnson in the 60s, to Franklin Roosevelt, and then to Wilson. I mean, these are all three warmonger communist Democrats. Way back then. Wilson started the Federal Reserve, the privately owned central bank of the United States. You know, the 16th Amendment to pretend like you owe income tax, but you don't. It was with him. And the 17th Amendment, who took the state from the states away their power to appoint their senators to represent the states, which was important as a check against federal power. They took that check and weakened it quite a bit by doing that. So now we got a president, Trump, who personally has experienced, okay, about 8 years of relentless attack of the corrupt system. Not just the federal government, not just some few states like New York and Georgia, but also seen how the FBI, CIA, Department of Injustice, and the judges even are corrupt. Yes. Americans used to believe, oh, judges are holy. Oh, a judge says something like God spoke. You can't question a judge. You must be the guilty party because the judge said so. He's just there being a neutral arbitrator of the facts and law. He's a priest that takes care of the Constitution and our rights. But no, these lower-level judges are especially a lot of corruption amongst them. As you get higher, they've gotten better, okay, because of Trump. He replaced 3 Supreme Court justices. One of them is really good, Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and what's the lady's name? I forgot. They're pretty good. So it's changed after we haven't had a decent Supreme Court in America since the mid-1930s. That's right. After Roosevelt, they put a bunch of socialist communists who dominated the Supreme Court. So anyhow, with that, I'm going to go to your questions. I'm talking a lot. I could go on and on, but I know many of you are there waiting. You want to get your questions answered. It's your show, your Freedom Hour. I'm dedicated to helping you be free, you and your family be free, and together have America be free as well. So let's put the call number on the screen for people to see it. The number to call, as you see, is 424-552-1299 on your telephone keypad. You press 1, and then you'll be next to get your question answered. 424-552-1299, and then press 1, and I'll take a question after the 2 callers we have. I think we have 1 caller right now from area code 937. So 937 area code caller. Please, he got disconnected. Oh, don't know what that got disconnected. All right. Well, anyhow, the reason about it, just those of you until some people call again. The reason he tried again. Is he connected now? He's connected? Okay, we'll take his call. But before I get to this question, the reason I have this show, I want you to see how the IRS is not a bunch of intelligent, powerful, ruthless people that'll get you if you don't file income tax. That's a vast majority of them are like them. Just somebody off the street they picked up that fit their, DEI profile. Anything but a white male. They stay away from white males. If you're a woman, better than a man. If you're non-white, better than a white person. Oh, and if you're not straight, anything but straight, homosexual, or you think you are the opposite sex, that's even better. You've done surgeries to really change, mutilate your body, even better. That's what they hire. You saw that. They call the number, and then the person, after all the weight of the automated machine answers, I got what? I got someone who says, I'm just an operator. Let me get you to somebody else who can answer some questions for you. Well, then, what do we need you for? Why didn't the second person answer the phone if you can't answer the phone to begin with? There's so much laziness in there, incompetence out there. And then the second person, as you saw, it took a long time to get to what? From 1040 instructions handbook from the front page to 8 page. She can't even do that. Not to mention the laws. She has no idea what the Bible of the IRS actually says. The Internal Revenue Code. She has no idea what it is, where do you find it, any word that says on it. These are the people that they blow it up in your mind to be so powerful, going to get you. Be afraid of them. They are afraid of you. They were afraid of me. That's why the lady hung up. They said, look, I'm not here to stress it out. I'm just going to go do some easier call. I'm just getting a paycheck. That's what they're doing. All right. So let's see. We have area code 937 caller, and then area code 904 caller, and then 920 caller, and then area code, let's see, 202 caller, and then I think we have, let's see, do you have another number? I think that's it. All right. Let's go start with the 937 area code caller. My friend, give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hey, good evening, Peymon. Your connection's a little rough here, so I'm going to try to get through this. My name is Doug. I can't hear you at all.
Can you tell me how you heard about Freedom Law School?
Yeah, Freedom. I've followed you for years. I called in before. I'm in the medical freedom movement, and you've been posted there, and I researched, and actually I spoke to a couple of your people over the last couple of days. So I'm very interested in this. Can't hear you.
You can't hear me at all? Nothing at all?
Now, yeah, it's like in and out. Sorry.
Check your connections. Turn your computer down and hear me only on the call-in studio system. Turn your computer down, my friend.
Yeah, I'm only on my phone. My computer speakers are off.
What do you think? You don't hear me at all, huh? All right.
No, I'm hearing you now. You're just broken up. It's like you're out of bandwidth.
That's very strange. I don't know what to say. You want to hang up and call back, and I'll get you after the next caller. Okay? Hang up.
Okay, I'll
call
try
back.
that.
I'll try again. Okay? All right?
Yep, you got it.
All right,
Thanks.
my friend. You're welcome.
Right.
Sorry about that. Folks, technology is not perfect.
It's okay.
We deal with it.
Oh, now you're better.
All right. Okay. Well, let's go to 904 area code caller. Hopefully we get a better connection there. And 904 caller, please give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes. What's your name?
I'm Raul from Florida.
Great.
I'm having the same issues as the prior caller, but I guess I put out my questions anyway.
Okay.
So I've been on the fence for a while. I've been on the fence for many years, but I'm just afraid of making the move.
How did you hear about Freedom Law School?
For obvious reason, you know. What was that?
How did you hear about Freedom Law School?
I started, it was like 4 years ago. I got your CDs, and it was from like a USA Today, like an IRS ex-agent challenged somebody that there was no law, and it got my attention back then. And then somehow I got to your website. So I sent for the request for the materials, but I pretty much haven't done anything because of, you know, the fear.
Gotcha. I understand. All right. Keep going. Uh-huh.
I can barely hear you, but I'm just going to put the question anyway.
Go ahead,
I'm
Rob.
at W-2. Yeah, I'm at W-2, but I'm also I was a 1099 in 2024. Would that apply to a 1099 as well, or only to W-2 employees?
Everybody, remember this. Based on the U.S. government's official legal websites, no law requires 99% of Americans to file and pay income taxes. In his 10-page video and the slides in there from government's official legal websites, you see the only people required to file income taxes are citizens and residents of Washington, D.C. mainly. That's the number one group. Second is federal workers that work in Washington, D.C. Third is anybody who has real estate in Washington, D.C. and sells it for profit. That is it. It's not the type of income. It's where the income is from or where you are from. You, Raul, are not from the District of Columbia. You are not from Washington, D.C., so it doesn't matter how you make money. You don't owe any income tax to the Washington, D.C. government, the U.S. government, whether sovereign, whether king in Washington, D.C. Okay? So
now, would that apply also for the payroll taxes?
Yes.
Or only the federal income tax?
Payroll taxes also. If you go again to watch my videos, okay, on our step one, follow the law, that we teach you, number one, follow the law all the time. You see there's a video here on the bottom right. Okay, by law, who must pay and or withhold Social Security and Medicare taxes, okay? So you watch that video right there, and that covers that issue for you in more detail. In short, the only people, these FICA or payroll taxes, okay, or the self-employment taxes apply, are certain people doing only certain activities in Puerto Rico, Guam, Virgin Islands, and the American Samoa. It's a very tiny group of people. That's what the United States is defined as those 4 U.S. island territories I just mentioned to you, not the 50 states. Remember, everybody, America is not one country. It's 50 countries plus one agent country, the federal government, who is sovereign or king in District of Columbia and its land territories. Okay, so they deliberately use the term United States, and they knew you would think, oh, United States is obviously the 50 states combined, but it is not. Okay, United States in tax law specifically means, generally speaking, the District of Columbia. Payroll taxes means those 4 island territories. For oil taxes, though, petroleum means all the 50 states and all federal territories, and then even continental shelf and federal zones. So read the law, my friend. Watch these videos in step one. As you drive around, listen to them. When you get to work at lunch, or dinner at home, play the videos one more time, this time watch and listen, okay? And you're going to know this for yourself. Okay, Raul?
Appreciate it. I will definitely. I feel better.
Okay, all right. Man.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome, my friend.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Okay, we got 920 caller, 203 area code caller, and then we have area code 512 caller. And, all right, let's see. Yeah, I think that's it. All right. And then we have the 937 area code caller. Doug, I'll get back with you also, my friend. I'll get you, I promise. Okay. All right, let's go to the 920 area code caller. Please give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hi, my name is Liz. I heard about it. I've listened to a few calls now, and I've called in before, so it's been a while. And I work for a CPA office, which is a tax firm. I'm not sure how to go about, like, I don't know if my boss knows of this, because, like, a lot of our clients pay income tax. You know, we file their tax returns for them. And, like, really they shouldn't have to, right? So I don't know if my boss knows that, or if she does know that. Like, I don't know how to go about telling her that I'm not going to file my income taxes. This will be the first time I don't do it, which how would I go about doing that?
There's no requirement for you to tell your boss or bosses that you're not going to file or pay income tax. That's something different. Okay, now, if you're going to stop an employee, if withholding, that's a different issue. Let me ask you, how many employees does this company have, Liz? About?
I think there's like 10 of us.
Oh, 10 of you, okay. Well, in that case, here's what I would suggest you consider. Go to your other employees and the boss to say, you know, you got 10 minutes. Can you give me 10 minutes of your time? Yeah, okay, well, do me a favor, watch this video, tell me what you think about it. Okay, it's about income taxes. It blew me away, but maybe I'm missing something. Would you do me a favor, watch this? Okay, put it on.
Oh, you're breaking.
That 10-minute video, the very first one on a follow the law, just have them watch this. Okay?
The very video?
And look, that's how I'm waking up many people. I just,
okay.
Look at this. At first, people are shocked. I had one guy think I'm trying to have him evade his taxes. Okay. Then, next time I gave him more information, he starts seeing, oh, wow. You're right. The Supreme Court agrees with these definitions are restrictive, and it does not include the 50 states as the United States for tax purposes. U.S. citizens are District of Columbia citizens for income tax purposes. So, and they come around. So just go and share with them. Call us. We'll give you our brochures also. Call us. We give you our definition flyers. These definition flyers you see on our website, these things, okay? We can send you these whole brochures, like these things, on our step one. The whole booklet for you at no charge to show them. 8.5 by 11. We have this booklet right here. You see right now, I'm clicking on the video. We will send that to you handy to show them also to say, hey, what do you think about this? You know, did I miss something here? So that's what I would suggest you do. I mean, you never know. The company owner might be, I don't know how much integrity he has.
I can't see it right now, but whatever you're showing me, I can go back on the recording and see it.
Yes. Yes. You go back on the recording. Yeah, check out on this, the definitions handout. Yes, you want to definitely check that out. And call us at 813-444-4800, and our people will guide you, answer questions further also.
Okay, and then I have one other question about, like, we don't have to file income tax. We have to file the annual return, or the annual, like, for LLC, like your registered Your
Is
LLC license.
is the LLC
Annual report.
is the LLC a Washington D.C. LLC or corporation?
No.
Okay, guess what? They does not have to file an income tax return. Only if
Not
it's
an
a
income
domestic to D.C. that corporation has to file. And for those of you who can look at by putting on a screen, or let me go let me put it on right now on the screen for everybody to see. When you look up Section 7701 definitions in the Internal Revenue Code, you look at the term United States as state, you know that means only the District of Columbia. Now you look at the word, corporation. What kind of corporation? They're talking about domestic corporation, okay? Means entities that are created or organized in the United States, which means District of or Columbia, on the laws of
I'm
D.C.
sorry. Not the income tax, the annual report filing.
Same
Do
thing.
I still have to
Same thing. Same
It's
thing. The
like a-
reports are slavery reports. The report filing and paying income tax only apply to Washington D.C. citizens and Washington D.C. corporations and partnerships and entities, not to entities in Russia, France, Texas, Florida, or New York. It doesn't apply because all those countries I mentioned to you, they're not from District of Columbia. Okay?
Okay.
Very
Oh,
good.
thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for calling. Let's go now. Take Doug back up. Maybe he hears better this time. Area code 937. Maybe you have a better luck with him because the other two callers seem to have those sound issues. Hopefully we could, Doug from area code 937, he has no sound issue. Let's get him live. So Doug, you are live again one time. Maybe you're in a bad area perhaps. Your internet connection because other
Can you
people.
hear me?
I hear you good, my friend.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I hear
All
you
right.
always.
Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you letting me come back in.
No problem.
As I said, I've watched you for years before. That's how I've met it. Now I'm ready to kind of make the jump, and I have a couple real quick questions here. So I am self-employed, and I own a business that is currently in Ohio as an S-Corp, and we are relocating to Florida. And speaking with one of your people, they told me to register as an LLC in Florida. So I understand now I'll have no federal return, but in the state of Florida, there's a requirement for an annual report. So my first question is, how does this affect the state filings? And then my second part of the question is, I have an EIN number, obviously, for banking. If I stop reporting on the federal level and they cross-check the EIN number, what's going to happen there?
I'm not sure about what you meant cross-checking, but let me answer your first question first, okay?
Sure.
By the way, as far as entities that give you the most privacy, America has 50 countries. The two best ones I know are Wyoming and New Mexico, where the LLCs in those states require you no information from you, and they require no annual fees or reports. So Florida is good. My people suggest that Florida, because you're in Florida, and Florida is a no state income tax state. So they just want an annual small little fee, a very tiny little short report. So it's not bad, but it's not as good as Wyoming or New Mexico. And I'll mention that to them, remind them about that. So next time they'll know better. So that's the answer to your first question. What was your second question about? Repeat that, please.
So my second question is, I have an EIN number for banking purposes.
Okay.
And if I stop filing federal returns and they see activity under the EIN number because my banking continues to happen, will the IRS be triggered to say, why did I stop filing?
No. It's very simple. What you
Okay.
want to do, Doug, is to go to step 3 videos that we have on our website and watch those, because step 3 is what I really show you that the IRS doesn't even use the W-2 reports, 1099 reports. the K1 reports, K9. They don't use none of that stuff. They don't actually use them to come after people who are non-filers. They finally this year, they start coming up after very, very tiny amount of non-filers. Finally, I see some because I think I've been harping out there for so long. They figured that we got to do some kind of a nominal, attack on some non-filers. So I've seen a couple of those from Austin, Texas, and Holtsville, New York office. Not Ogden, Utah, for some reason, which used to be the big one. So no, they don't use them. There's trillions of dollars exchanged through the banking system every day, transferred. There's no way they can keep track of all that stuff. And knowing all this money going in and out of these entities or people that file pay income tax, they have no way of doing that. So even the W-2 1099s, which are really easy, they don't even use that. Okay? And if you go step 3, realize the IRS operates on deception and bluff. Okay? If you go and there, and you'll see if you go down to this 7 reasons why the IRS is leaving non-filers alone, you see in their step 6, okay, that they even left high-income non-filers alone. There was a report by Treasury auditors in 2020 that IRS is leaving high-income non-filers, even when they were given a list of 100 richest income tax non-filers, who each would owe the IRS about $100,000. And auditors asked the IRS to go after them. IRS said, no, thank you. No, thank you. $100 million.
I get that.
So, no, you'll be fine, my friend. No need to be afraid of that. Again,
okay.
And at the same time.
So basically,
yes, go ahead.
So basically, in summary, you're saying if I move to the state of Florida, become an LLC, I'll stop paying federal or state taxes because Florida is not doesn't have income tax. So basically, I can fire my account and save all that money.
Yes, isn't that wonderful? You don't need a slave agent that you pay to make you a slave of the IRS. You don't need them.
So basically, I can go back to my account and then just fire him and just move everything, and I'm done.
Yeah, you just simple bookkeeping is all you want for your own reasons. Look, how much is coming in? What are my major area of revenues? Major area expenses? How much is my net? How am I doing compared to last year? Income, receipts, expenses, right? That's all you need, don't you? You don't need all this mumbo-jumbo complex accounting except to be a slave of the IRS. Right?
Okay. I guess it sounds good.
Okay. Very good. Congratulations, Doug.
I appreciate your help.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for calling.
Take care.
Yeah, take care, my friend.
All right. Bye now.
Bye-bye. Okay. Let's see. We got area code 202, 512, and then 503 area codes, right? That's what we got. Okay. Let's go to 202 area code caller. Give us your first name, how you heard about us, and then your questions, please.
It's your boy, Skeeter. Ready for round 2, Peymon?
Yes.
You hung up on me last time. You ran from me.
I didn't hide from you. You know, you hung up yourself. So, Skeeter, let me ask you. Oh, hold on. Number 1 question. We try to call you back more than once from different phones. How come your number's blocked? How come you cannot accept calls?
No.
Your number?
I'm not allowed to accept calls. I'm not allowed to accept calls during work hours.
Why not?
Huh?
Why not?
My boss.
Oh, really?
My boss doesn't allow it.
I see. What hours do you work?
I'll lose my DEI privileges.
And let me.
I got
let me
some
ask
questions
you.
for you, Peymon.
Okay, you work. Yeah. Okay. What hours do you work?
9 to 5.
9 to 5.
Pretty much.
Right. Pretty much. Right. Exactly. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
What time is it right now?
Here?
Right now. Yeah. What time is it in DC right now?
1:51, I think.
What time is it right now?
1:51.
Okay.
I mean, sorry, 7:51.
Yeah.
Your connection's breaking up.
Oh,
your connection's breaking up.
Of course.
Yeah, it is.
So it's
your
almost
callers
3
are
hours after your work is done. Why aren't you not calling from your personal phone? Why are you using your work number? Your work is on 5.
I don't get
almost 8.
I don't get paid for the call if I do.
What do you mean?
I mean, can we get back on topic? I mean, I have some questions for you.
Listen, I talk to IRS agents all the time.
I didn't call in.
It's not a problem.
I didn't call in to get interrogated
your
by my
number's
personal life.
blocked. Okay, if you're a real person,
am I running a talk show? Am I running a live talk show? No, I'm not running a live talk show.
If you give I'm not live. Call from law school and give us your real number. We'll talk to you. How about that?
Okay, I'll tell you what. If I run a live show, I'll use my personal number.
No, listen, you're not IRS agent.
Is that a rule here? Are you rewriting the laws just like you are with the Constitution and the tax code? Come on, man. I just got some honest questions for you.
Nice job.
Can you defend them or not?
Nice job flipping it on me, Skeeter. Nice job. They taught you a few things.
See, he's avoiding the debate.
Skeeter.
Listen, listeners, he's avoiding the debate.
Skeeter.
He's trying to steer it toward my personal life.
Do something.
This is that hominem fallacy.
All right. This time, Skeeter, I am going to hang up on you because you exposed yourself. Your number's blocked. I asked you why. You said, because my company blocks the number for calling in. What business do you know in America,
you're telling me,
folks?
Peymon.
Hold on. Pause it for a minute. Mute him for a minute while I talk. Okay, I want to interrupt you. Imagine, folks, what business in America says you can't call us? No. We're in business to make money, but you can't call us. You need to call us to ask questions about our products and services so we can sell it to you, take your money, but you can't call us. Oh, we have a number to call you, but you cannot call us. Oh, yeah. What business doesn't do that, right? Now, then number 2, Skeeter says, during my work hours, I cannot make calls. It's pretty much, and then his work hours, he tells the truth, slips, because he didn't think very much ahead, right? I work pretty much 9 to 5. And right now, I looked at when he called, it was about 7:50 p.m. Oh, you calling from your work? Not your personal phone? You're misusing company funds? Oh, because it doesn't cost anything from your work? That's another lie, isn't it? Because last time I checked, every cell phone in America can call any other cell phone at no charge, even landlines. The whole 50 states, there is no charge to call the 50 states. It's not like 30, 40 years ago, we had zones you have to pay, so much a minute charges. There's no minute charges for calling back to America. So now, Skeeter, I'm going to put you back on now, but I will mute you, okay, if you don't answer the questions. So, again, why does your company not take calls from customers doing 9 to 5? This is called company number, you said. Why does your company want people to call?
The telephone lines are only outgoing.
Why?
It's just the way it works.
Why? No.
I'm a telemarketer.
Why?
I'm a telemarketer. That's why.
Oh, you're a telemarketer.
You happy now, Peymon? Now can we talk about the law? Because I don't see how. What do you have against IRS agents anyway?
Okay, all right. I got other people to answer questions. We got real questions that affects them. Okay, yeah.
Wait.
Hold on. Do you have any personal questions you have about your situation?
Personal question?
Yeah, about your situation.
Yes, I don't see. So I'm trying to apply.
Yes or no? Mute him right now. Yes or no?
Yes, I do. I'm trying to figure out if I have to pay taxes or not. Right?
Ask your question. What's your situation?
I'm trying to figure out if I have to pay tax or not, but I'm looking at your argument, and it's based upon willful misinterpretation of the word includes.
Oh,
I see all the definitions you're putting up in Section 7701, and they're all relying on the word includes. And what I see, and the text could also defines includes on the bottom over in Part C. Why don't you show that and show those definitions, and then you can actually make a proper interpretation? Because hold on, Peymon, an inclusion statement is not a definition. The tax code always uses certain inclusion statements, and they are not to be interpreted as a full definition. They give a partial list on ambiguous cases of the term. So, of course, DC is an ambiguous case of whether or not it's part of the 50 states of the United States. So they're going to make an inclusion statement saying that the term state includes DC. That is not to be interpreted as the United States is only DC.
Tell you what.
And that's where you're making your interpretation mistake.
Okay.
And it also shows in the term United States.
I'm not going to let you talk right now. Sorry. So I'm going to respond to you this way. I'm going to let you filibuster, take all the time you want. No. You verified more than one way you're IRS agent. And about the words, the way you said things, you're putting words in my mouth. And you're saying things out of context, okay? And obviously you're not that stupid. I can tell you're halfway intelligent. You went back to your bosses and your lawyers that you work with, they gave you some stuff to come back and argue against me, which is fine, no problem. But bottom line is this, okay? We know all this stuff is on my website. Gould versus Gould, unanimous U.S. Supreme Court case, has said, read it for yourself on my screen. In the interpretation of statutes or laws, levying taxes, imposing taxes, it is established rule not to extend their provisions by implication or implying beyond the clear import of the language used, or to enlarge their operations so as to embrace or include matters not specifically pointed out. Something not specifically pointed out is simply not there, because why? The taxation is, by definition, is theft. The founding fathers were against theft. They were against the King of England stealing the money and making them slaves. So they made sure they did not give the federal government the power to just steal from them willy-nilly. This is well-established rule that Gould versus Gould talks about. You see several court cases, Supreme Court, that they mentioned 3 of them. This is a well-established rule of the U.S. Supreme Court. No question, 9-0. And the Supreme Court ends by saying, in case of doubt, any doubt, the tax laws are construed or interpreted most strongly against the government power to tax and in favor of the citizen not being taxed. Of course, you as an IRS agent knowingly and deliberately ignore that. I know that, and you do not deliberately, but I'm not talking about it. All this stuff is in our petitions, in my videos. How come you don't talk about Gould versus Gould? Oh, because it shoots you down completely. There is no taxing, implying, assuming. There's nothing vague about DC. DC is taxed in income tax laws. In oil taxes, it says the 50 means the 50 states, United States, and U.S. territories, and a bunch more stuff. Okay? There's no problem there at all. So thank you again for exposing yourself. And let me tell you something. You're not that intelligent or that smart, but I think you can do a better job than selling your soul for money against Skeeter, okay? And if you are real, call us. Give us your real phone number. We can call you. I challenge you. Go ahead, Skeeter. Call us from your real number. Okay? And I tell you what, let's do some kind of a video call where we can, I'll see you. And if you show you're a real non-IRS agent, I will publicly apologize to you. And on top of that, I'll give you $1,000, Skeeter. Prove to me you are not an IRS agent, employee, informant. Go ahead. $1,000 is waiting for you. I didn't hang up on you. You hung up. How many times do you lie? Are you happy with yourself? Do you like people lying to you? Anyhow, I got to go to other people's questions. Sorry, guys. But I kind of recognize it was him. I thought, man, maybe it's not him. Maybe it's another 202 area code caller. Let's go to our real American patriots who have real questions, folks. Well, this is because they're so desperate to stop us. This is good news. Okay? He went back to get the lawyers to tell him, well, say this. Try that. Okay? All right. Let's see. We got the area code 512 caller next, I think, right? Is he still there? Yeah. 512 caller, you're live, my friend. Give us your first name, how you heard about us, and then your question, please. Oh, by the way, Skeeter's number for all of you to call is here. It is 202-809-1124. Right? Anybody can give me what that number is, what business it is? Let me know. Reverse directory doesn't mention him. 202-809-1124. Skeeter, show us we're wrong. All right? The offer's been made for you. If you're that right, I apologize to you. Just prove it. $1,000 is waiting for you. All right. 512 area code caller. Give us your first name, how you heard about us, and then your question. 512 area code caller. Are you there? Okay. He's not there right now. We'll come back to that caller. Let's go to the 503 area code caller. You're alive, my friend, with Freedom Law School. Give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please. Are you there? Area code 503 caller. 503 area code caller, last chance to announce yourself. Okay. He's not there either. All right, let's see. I think we took the other people's calls already. 937 area code caller. He's there. Okay, all right. So it's open right now. If you have a question, call the number on your screen, 424-552-1299, and then press 1 on your telephone keypad. 424-552-1299. Then on your telephone keypad, you press 1, and I will take your question next. People, this is the great moment I've been waiting for over 30 years. A president that's on our side and that wants to just dismantle this corrupt deep state bureaucracy, FBI, CIA, DOJ, FDA, IRS. These are corrupt to the core entities. Okay, communist, socialist entities that want to rule over you. They think they know better. They're smarter than you. You're just a dumb citizen. They have contempt for you, but they're afraid of you. Because once we stop them, they got to go get a real job, show real talent, actually work hard for a living, for a change. Because that government, they don't have to work hard at all. They can take long coffee breaks, do whatever they want to do. You're lazy, you don't work hard. Guess what? So, same goes with your boss. And your boss's boss. And his boss. They're a bunch of lazy butts. They don't work hard. Work for a private company like you do, American people? Oh my gosh, no way. Now it's getting used to all this easy money and paid vacations, paid holidays. The IRS agent was after me about 20 years ago. That guy got 4 weeks of paid vacation per year. Dang, that's not bad. I like to take 4 weeks completely off and don't worry about nothing but nothing, but I can't. I got to work for a living, as opposed to these, mostly lazy government agents like Skeeter. Okay, all right. Let's see, do you have new callers? Yes, we do. We have a call from area code 352, followed by a caller from area code, no, I think 352, we took him, didn't we? 352 area code caller? No, he's a new caller, okay. And then one from area code 620. So 352 caller, please give us your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
I agree with Skeeter. My name is... Hey, Peymon, this is my personal phone.
Who is
Can
this?
we debate now?
Who is it, Skeeter?
Skeeterheimer. Yeah, I'm calling from my personal phone.
Okay.
I flew to Florida.
All right.
I'm back home now.
Okay. So what?
But
That's a Florida number,
That goop.
right? That's a Florida number.
You're breaking up, but
Okay, wait.
yeah, it's my phone number.
Oh, 352? Okay, wait a minute. How come you have a Florida number? You live in D.C., you told us.
What's that?
You called us from D.C.
Oh, I just got off work.
Oh, how come you got a Florida
I'm back
number?
home now.
Wait a minute. Your phone number is not...
I'm back home now.
How come your phone number is from Florida?
That's where I live.
Answer the question.
It's,
No, you said you work in D.C.
It's 8:07 here.
Oh,
Yeah.
lives in Florida. Whereas you told us you work and live in D.C. Which one
I
is it?
work remotely.
Oh. Okay. All right. Let's hang up on him. Okay. So, folks, you saw it for yourself. Of course, federal government has access to all kind of numbers. They get a number from any state if they want to, right? Yeah, no problem. We give you a Florida number. We got government. We got tons of money, tons of phone numbers. Call from a Florida number. See, they cannot cover their lies fast enough. They just come up with more lies, more inconsistencies that shows how liars they are. Okay. All right. Let's go to 620 caller. Okay. You're alive, my friend. Give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please. Are you there? 620 caller?
Yes.
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 What is your name?
Hi, my name is I guess your staff is trying to work the communication. The line is going in and out, so I'm having a hard time hearing you. But as long as you can hear me, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. I can hear you good, yeah.
Okay. Perfect. My name is Jenny, and I heard you through some family members.
Mm-hmm. And how may
and my
I help
question to you is, I've watched your videos and go through your webpage, and it's very informative, and I'm very impressed. And the question that I have is, and I think you're going to tell me the same thing as you've been telling the previous callers, is if you had inherited some land, or if you sold crypto for money or for a profit or stocks or anything like that, we don't need to file federal income tax, correct?
That's right. You don't unless you are a citizen or resident of Washington, D.C. Is that the case for you or not?
Okay. Perfect. I'm just curious because I have a friend who has family that has land in New York, mm-hmm. and she might be inheriting that once the family member passes away, and she started back up having her taxes withheld, mm-hmm. because she's afraid that if she didn't pay her federal income tax, she's going to lose out on her inheritance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right. Very good. That's all the questions
Thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
That's all I have. Thank you, Peymon. You take care and be well.
You're welcome. My pleasure. All right. Let's see who we have on the call waiting to ask questions. Anybody new we have? Then we have a 920 caller I see on there, right? Let's see. We have, we took 920 caller. So I guess we can, the numbers on the screen. If you have a question, the number is 424-552-1299, and then press 1 to be connected to get your question answered. 424-552-1299, and then press 1 on your telephone keypad to get your question answered. We're going to try again the 513 area code caller and the 513 area code callers. Earlier they were not around. Let's see if they're around maybe. But there's a 949 area code caller. Did we take that person? 949 from Orange County. Let's take the 949 area code caller from Orange County, California. You're alive, my friend. From Orange County, where I used to live. Freedom Law School got birthed in Orange County. What's your name and what city in Orange County you live?
Tyler.
What's your name?
Can you hear me okay?
Yes. What is your name?
Yeah, I think maybe there's a problem with your guys' line today because I'm also not hearing you very well.
I'm sorry. Well, what is your name?
Ask your question.
I'm so sorry. I couldn't hear what you said.
What is your name? How you heard?
Tyler.
Tyler. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't hear you, but I'll go ahead and ask my question, and I'll listen to the recording later. I have invested in your real estate course, and I'm wondering if you have an updated version of that, or if anything has changed with regard to investing or purchasing your first home without needing any sort of tax returns.
You talking about the class that I had Rich Diamond come do. It was his class on how to buy real estate with no money down, without credit, without using your slave surveillance number. Okay, that class was done in 2001. That's 24 years ago.
Right.
You referred to that class to Rich Diamond. Yeah.
That's what I'm asking. Is there anything updated or new information that has come out about that? Or
no, the fundamentals are basically the same. What I do want to caution you, Tyler, is that, as you know, our money system is privately owned by the private banks. The big banks like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Citibank, and Chase. They own the New York Federal Reserve and control the Federal Reserve System. And with also with Goldman Sachs, these guys, private bankers, own the system, and they make money out of thin air, and they loan money out of thin air in the system at interest, to charge interest on everything. That's why everybody in the government is in debt, because all of our money is debt.
Yeah.
Every money is borrowed from the bank somehow or another, directly or indirectly. And so this creates bubbles in the economy, booms and busts. Okay, so the Great Depression of the 1930s was engineered by the bankers. The Great Depression of 2008 was engineered by the bankers. We had a very big recession in the early 80s, late 70s and early 80s, end of Carter and the Reagan years, early years of Reagan. And we are ready for another crash. How soon it'll come up, no one exactly knows. But I tell you, we're at or near the top, like 2006. You know that I knew the Great Depression was coming. As early as 2003, I knew it's not that far. 2005, I said, man, it's even getting closer. So I think we got more time to go, but I don't know how much time. 4 months, a year, 2 years. This is not the bottom of the market to buy real estate. This is the top of the market. Now, if you want to sell your real estate and change that for another house someplace else, you're basically transferring equity to another better house, better location, or better properties you like. That's fine, because you're in the market. It's going to go up and down. Doesn't matter. You live there. But this is not the time to get into real estate. It's time to sell real estate. So I would suggest not to worry about that. Wait for the crash and then buy real estate. Right now, my best investment advice is Bitcoin, gold, silver, and then other crypto that you may like or prefer, a lesser amount of those, because those are going to go up, and safely. Real estate is not the time. Does that help you, Tyler?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Peymon.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Wow, that's a long time ago, 24 years ago, about almost. 23 and a half years ago, that class was done. Okay. All right, we have another call from area code 719 caller. You are live with Freedom Law School. Please give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hey, Peymon, this is Anthony. I came across you guys, I think, back in 2019. I became a student for, I think, the past 5-6 years, and I am now a business owner. And my question is, when running a business and for the employees that you are bringing on and onboarding, I guess my question is, for the employees that want to be a W-2 employee and they want to pay taxes, does that put me as a business owner in a predicament, in the sense that if I have to file for some of the employees, but not all of them, maybe some want to be a 1099 contractor, some want to be just paid cash, how would you go about, I guess, is there a way to be in the middle, or do you have to be completely in and or out when hiring people?
Well, you don't want to be filling out those forms, IRS forms, because you're not from DC, neither is your business. Okay? Now, the
Correct.
other thing to ask, but there's certain things we got to evaluate. But let me tell you this, Anthony, you are a Restore Freedom Plan member for over 5 years, you said. And as such, you get unlimited consultation, my friend, about this and all related questions. I normally charge $1,000 an hour for my time because there's such a demand on my time. For you, it is included in your membership. So take advantage of it. Call, set up a time, okay? And I'll go over that stuff with you. These are a little bit more complex than some other issues, individual issues, and there's a lot of variables. But I'll give you a little flavor of it right now for you and everybody else since you asked the question. But let me ask you a couple of questions. How many employees do you have right now, and how many do you see yourself hiring during the course of this year?
I would say I have a total of 20 people, but I would say only 10 that are wanting to do, on the W-2 type system.
Okay. Let me ask you, have them come to a company luncheon or dinner, fed them, then have them all sit down and watch our videos, like the step 1 video on the law and step 2 on filing tax returns? Have you done that yet?
A few of them are aware of it, and I would say there are a few that, in the initial onboarding, they were, proud to be taxpayers. So I didn't say anything at the time. And so I guess I just wanted to, I guess that was, when I was listening to you just earlier on, that was already going through my head. I got to play that 10-minute video to everybody to see what their thoughts were. So.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. You need to do what I suggested, in that you have them all come one day to work or home, or your home someplace with a big TV. You feed them and you pay them for the time. This is work time. You actually will pay them for being there, being fed, and you tell them, let them know that you've been paid for this thing. Now I'm going to give you some training. And then you show them our videos. You will not rely on them on their own watching it, on their own being interested, on their own being open-minded, because they may not be. Obviously, some of them are not. You'll pay them to get educated. You put them on the biggest TV you can find. You can have your smartphone mirror on your TV. They all do that these days. And watch that. Pen and paper in hand. Each of them get a pad, notepad, and a pen. Write down your questions. And you have them watch step 1 video, the short 10-minute one. And then step 2, all the short videos of step 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. An hour and a half is most. Maybe 2 hour max. Maybe take some breaks. That's what it takes. Then next week, you do the same thing. Who wants to be poor? Who wants to not have a whole paycheck? Who wants to not have some savings? Nobody. Okay? The problem is ignorance leads to fear. Get rid of the ignorance, the fear will go away. Without the fear, now there'd be no more robbery and no more slavery. But it starts with education, and you gotta pay them. I've had people that have doing work for me. I'll pay them to watch the videos. I said, sit down. First thing, watch the videos. Educate yourself. Really, I'll pay you to watch. Okay, seriously, that's what you gotta do. This way, they are on solid ground in their heart and mind. Okay, and so are you. You start that process. But anyhow, call and we'll work with you on that. You probably would be interested in, Anthony, in the Employer Freedom Plan, where we protect you and each of your employees, okay, from any IRS problems, 100%. Some of them who want to be independent contractors and you want to do it that way with them too, that's fine. That just handles that problem pretty simply. And you don't need to 1099 them to the IRS anymore. The remaining ones, you're going to focus on this. So call our office, Anthony, and we'll make some time to go over this issue in more detail and make this problem for you easy and a happy solution for you and all of your employees. Okay, I got backup plans in case there's some 1 or 2 people that I'm having giving you a hard time on that. I got backup plan for those also, but let's talk about that privately, in more detail. All right, Anthony.
I'll have to put that 10-minute video into my onboarding packet.
More than that.
All right.
Put all the short videos of all of the steps. The first 5, 6 steps. Yeah, you want to have them watch those, and then ask them any questions. Every step, any questions. Have them watch them twice if they want to, 3 times. You don't care. This is cheap insurance for you to pay them to really understand the law well, that they will be solid. Because push comes to shove, guess what? They know you are right. They know they are right. They have confidence in the law and you, and they love you, because if they go to another company, guess what? They're going to steal their paycheck in part. They're going to be poor. They're going to be in debt without money saved up for a new car or new used car or things like that, right? So do that, my friend, and we'll talk some more, Anthony. All right, brother?
Awesome. All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, my friend. Thanks for calling, Anthony. I think we do have some other callers, don't we? Or not? My pleasure, Anthony. Thanks for calling. Even though you don't have to, you called and enlightened other people that may be employers that you don't have to. You don't want to be a slave master. Free your people. It's very important that those of you who are employers to free your employees, free your company to be prosperous, free your employees to be able to take more home which belongs to them. They worked hard for that money. Why should it stand into all the corruption, waste, and criminality of the federal government? Now it's even more open than ever that your money to the federal government is openly wasted, corrupt, and criminality. Okay? Not only there's no law requiring you to, but morally, why are you funding your own enemies? Only because of ignorance and deception, which leads to fear. which leads to all this slavery, robbery, and slavery. Okay? All right? We do have some more new callers, don't we have one? No? Let's see, 503 caller. Let's see if he's available. He wasn't around earlier. 503 caller, you're live, my friend, with Freedom Law School. You have a question now? If so, please announce your question now. No? Okay. Now, I think we had a 720 caller, didn't we? No? No 720 caller? Okay, I think we got everybody who had questions, right? All right, last time, everybody. If you have a question. By the way, you have the brochures. I can show them front and back of our brochure. Okay? Remember, you can call us. We'll give you our brochures to mail out. We ask no charge to you. Pass on to your friends, family members, co-workers, love people by sharing them our information, our education, okay? That's how we're going to get America back, by all of us, okay? Spreading the truth about the law, about freedom, and we can restore freedom in America, our families. So call us, and we'll send those brochures to you. I don't have one here right now. Yeah, let's see. Yes, steps here. Yeah, I got it. Okay, all right. Oh, it is in step 7. Oh, we do have it there in step 7. Let me see. I can show the brochure to them on the computer. Even better. Where is that? Oh, here we go. Oh, you're right. Here it is. Yep. This is our brochure, everybody. Yep. Restore Freedom. And it's two-sided. Trifold. Okay. On the bottom right, we can put your name and phone number, or a private number we'll give you on the bottom right. And you give it to people. They join. We pay you. We thank you for having the love and courage to share this information, this empowering information with other people, okay? So call us at 813-444-4800, and we'll get this out to you as much as you like to get them out to American people. All right? So with that, everybody, I want to thank every one of you for being with me, and get some people, anybody you know, to go to freedomlawschool.org, educate yourself further, and now you can be free and prosperous. We can have America be free, prosperous, great, with happy and joy and love in full once again. Thanks for being with me.